Brandon Thurston pointed out something that I felt like was worthy of mentioning.
Uh-oh.
TKO's significant relationships across Disney, Netflix, NBCU, Nexstar, Fox, A&E, Paramount, and they may or may not have exclusivity terms, but even if they don't contain them in writing, a plaintiff might argue WWE has functionally foreclosed nearly all of the U.S. wrestling television market. There are a few media prominent companies that TKO doesn't have deals with: Amazon, WBD, Apple. But MLW got its case to move forward when a pre merger WWE had deals with a lesser variety of U.S. media partners. I think this is interesting because I think we've all heard the rumor and innuendo that TNA is looking for another deal, and they might be going to CW or they might be going to A&E. We know that WWE has existing deals with both of those. I find that fascinating because as you take a look around the landscape, even if they don't have exclusivity, of course, if you're asking most of these third parties, hey, do you want to be in business with WWE or do you want to be in business with insert company here? The brand recognition of WWE is going to win most of the time. I never really considered that. Wow, they're doing business, Jeff, literally with almost everyone at this point, aren't they?
Look at the NFL. I mean, there's a real parallel there that,
Yes.
NFL, they do business with all four of the big ones. Obviously, the streaming, the YouTube. I mean, it's just the brand, and that's obviously their strategy. And when you hear about the boxing vertical that they're with, obviously a well-funded partner, and kind of look at that's their goal. I think in free enterprise and the world we live in and the global economy, they're doing what's they believe is best for their shareholders. They're not going to slow down. I just think that is their strategy. It's up to other folks to counteract it and offer a brand. And that's where I just think when you really drill down and look at AEW and look at the product that we put out, we are a different product and a successful product. And last week, I think it was, I don't want to get into, because I always say different demos wrong and all this, but highest rated show on TBS for the day, and just all that kind of stuff. But the pay-per-view, the buys that came in and all that. But I don't think there's any surprise if you've been following it before the merger. This is what TKO is strategy. And I think it's just much bigger than that, because you have professional wrestling, boxing on the way, MMA, PBR, they're in that live event business, and the tentacles they have in all the different agencies across the board. It's their strategy to be cannibalistic. I don't think there's any hidden agenda here. Do you, Conrad? Do you think there's anything? Oh, no, we're good partners. No, it is what it is. Don't you believe that's their strategy?
It's a strategy, just like when two wealthy people are getting divorced, one of them is going to go out and try to make contact with every big swinging dick attorney in town to make sure that they can't work against them. Like
Bingo.
Yeah, we're going to make as much money as we can. We're also going to protect our ability to make as much money as we can.
Yes.
That's called being in business. It's not a negative thing. It's just the way it is. But I don't think until Thurston rattled them off, I really processed or had that thought. Well, nobody can go to Disney. Nobody can go to Netflix. Nobody can go to NBCU. Nobody can go to Nexstar or Fox or A&E or Paramount. It's like, oh, I mean, that's not to say the deals couldn't happen, but there would be a barrier to entry. There would be something to overcome. And it's like, this is fascinating. You're getting as much money as you can. And in the process of doing that, making sure that it's difficult for everyone else.
And Conrad, you said something, I think it was last week, about ticket prices.
Yes.
Hey, folks, they're not going down, they're going out. Something that Conrad, I'm paraphrasing. And when you really drill down on that and kind of extrapolate that and think that, boy, you ain't never been truer.
Because here's what's going to happen, Jeff. And I mean this. When the ticket prices creep up and become more expensive, you're going to attract a different level advertiser. When it's no longer behind a paywall and now your big events are on ESPN, it's going to attract a bigger advertiser. This stigma against wrestling fans, because as great as the ratings have been, for as long as you've been in the business, Jeff, I bet this has been true, that you always had to sell wrestling cheaper than what another program getting the same ratings would get. Is that correct?
And I don't want to get long-winded here, but on our topic today, we're going to get into some Spike TV deals, specifically the conversations and how elated we were as a company, and how Spike, coming off the WWE relationship and their real realities and their understanding and blah, 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 blah. But the short answer is no doubt. My old man out in WCCW turned into USWA, he made a fortune off of the bottom of the barrel advertising. It's reality.
I believe, like, when you have this on ESPN and more people are watching it and it becomes a hotter ticket and prices go up, you're going to lend yourself to higher CPMs. And if it costs more to advertise on your program and more people are watching your program, the rights fees for your program are going through the roof. Like, the reason the NFL advertising is so strong, and the reason we've all heard the story of, do you know how much a Super Bowl ad costs? I know this sounds simplistic, but I just want to break it down. They're not just arbitrarily saying, here's how much we're going to charge this year, although they could. They're saying it based on, here's how many people are watching, and here's the quality of viewer we have. And because it's live, this carries a premium. WWE will be able to check all of those boxes with their business because of this new ESPN deal. Their next television rights deal will be much bigger than this one, all because of ESPN and the way I believe it'll raise the demand on ticket prices. It's going to be interesting, because if that's a trickle down thing, that's good for the whole business. And I know there's so much tribalism and people don't want to hear this, but if you're a hardcore AEW fan like myself and you hate WWE, unlike myself, I like WWE. WWE doing well is good for AEW. I don't know why that's lost on people, but what's good for WWE is good for the wrestling business, and that means it's good for TNA, for AAA, for New Japan,
Amen.
and for AEW.
The uniqueness of our business is that we're emotionally attached to the characters,
yes,
brands, and all that. But when you take a step back, that's why all the AAA news that I get, because I've got buddies down there that are a part of the journalistic world, the websites, and they love to reach out and feedback on this and feedback on that. And they're all super excited. The CML success that's rocking and rolling, and then here comes this and this. But at the end of the day, I said it earlier today, the opportunity that is in Mexico for the next 24, 36 months, or maybe beyond that, but certainly right now, to start a new promotion and figure out how to brand it, and is it exclusively Mexican or whatever it is, but start a third show. It goes across the business, that the opportunities that are being created in the industry right now, shit, Conrad, they're freaking massive. I mean, from India to Australia, all points in between. Wrestling is hot, and it makes rising tide. Somebody named the podcast that a couple of weeks ago, but rising tide, it lifts all ships, not some ships, all ships.
SaveWithConrad.com.
My name's Rajiv. I'm in Sacramento, California. I came to Save with Conrad because I've heard Conrad talk about how he helps people all the time save money and the best route to go for getting some mortgages and finances done. And having heard so many different testimonials in the past, it made the most sense to go this route. We were in the market for a new house and we wanted to know what we could afford. So we spoke with Steve and then Diane to get through the pre-approval process to see what we could afford. And then once we were able to understand that aspect of it, that was when we were able to shop around for a house to get a mortgage through Save with Conrad. Everybody on the team was great. Everybody really explained everything fully to where it was more in like layman's terms to where I could understand it as someone not in the business or having shopped around for houses too many times. So being able to understand every step of the process and talking with everyone on the team about that was really, really helpful. And it made me feel really confident that I was going the right route. I would definitely recommend Save with Conrad to others. I know that sometimes people look at it and they go, oh, they're based in Alabama, what could they help me with? But I'm out here in California, and they were able to square everything away and get things done really quickly, as opposed to sometimes even people out here don't move as quickly as the Save with Conrad team. So everything was really well done, really efficient, and I would definitely recommend Save with Conrad to others. My name is Rajiv. I'm in Sacramento, California, and I was able to get into my dream home with SaveWithConrad.com.
NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. SaveWithConrad.com.